Welcome to yet another episode of Champagne Friday, but we've leveled up, crew.
Absolutely.
Look at this very expensive light we just got just for you. So on this episode, we're going to talk about Stampede. I mean, it's a little cringeworthy for us, but
we're going to provide a little more elegant alternative to the festivities of Stampede. If you're used to going the grounds and getting your Mike's Hard Lemonade on, we're going to bring a bubbly alternative for that, so you feel comfortable in a French wine bar.
Exactly. So you think you didn't know what to order at a French wine bar? Well, we got you because we're bringing in your Stampede alternatives.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Buckle in.
Cowboy up.
Howdy, partners. Welcome to Stampede 2022, Champagne Friday edition, from the beautiful, newly renovated Frenchy Wine Bar.
We are here because the first stop you're gonna make at that tent, you're gonna want something light, but you want something that's gonna make you feel, what do we want to feel with this?
Just like a little more alive. I mean,
Right?
to be frank, it's the first drink of your entire Stampede. You're maybe a little nervous, you just want to keep it simple, you want to keep it really fresh, and you don't want it to be too crazy.
And you're gonna go to the tub, so you're gonna want something in can format, and what do you get? Probably a twisted tea, but what we're gonna serve you is a piquette
Yes.
in can form.
So piquette, farmer fizz, basically, a very lightly carbonated. You can call it the beer of champagnes. It's usually made from leftover grape pressings with a little bit of water added, secondary fermentation over a very long period of time. In this case, actually done in the can. So low ABV, only 4% alcohol, very fresh, super crushable, very aromatic.
4% alcohol, so you can have at least 5 of these and be good until 12 p.m.
Yeah, half dozen, keep it tight.
Yeah, all right, shall we?
Get into it. Happy Stampede.
Happy Stampede!
So, besides being a little bit explosive and the fact that it's fermented in the can, you gotta be a little bit careful, but let's be honest, every beer that you have at Stampede that's even a little bit warm blows up.
It's
and
gonna
foams
blow
over.
up, but let's talk maybe a little bit about why this type would blow up on you.
Okay, so being fermented in the can, you don't exactly know how long it's going to ferment or what the pressure is or the CO2 level in there, so it can be a little bit violent on opening. But if you do it slowly and you do it carefully and you don't try to go for the dramatic sound that we went for, it's actually very reasonable.
Okay.
So yeah, beautiful stuff, very aromatic. This is like peaches and pears and super bright, just very fun to drink. In fact, despite losing some on the floor, I'm pretty much half done this already, so I think it's time to
Andrew's wet.
yeah, giddy up.
But what I love about having bubbly in a can is you're getting the best experience, but it's a little bit unpretentious. Like, I think a lot of people
Absolutely.
think about bubbles and they think, oh, it has to be in a bottle, you have to pop it, it has to be in the glass, but you can still enjoy the fizz, but without,
Yeah, without any of the fussiness.
yeah, exactly. Okay, well,
All right.
here's to our first Stampede.
Let's get weird.
So it's now about like 3 o'clock p.m. We're at the tent, we're sweaty, we're feeling a little tired. We need a little nip. We need something to get us going.
Exactly.
Andrew, what are we drinking?
Well, when it's Stampede, that would normally be the point in the day, evening, afternoon, where somebody makes the horrible suggestion of shots. Shots.
Shots.
Shots.
Shots.
So if you're going into a Parisian wine bar, you're not gonna order a shot, but you do want something that goes down real easy,
Yeah.
super refreshing, and just delicious, or what the French call glou glou.
Yeah, and it's gonna give you that little extra
A little pep in your step.
Yes.
So we've got the Saint Cyr Petnat, Pétillant Naturel, 100% Gamay, fermented in the bottle, but this one's a little bit different. It's actually fermented what they call sur point, meaning it's upside down. So all the sediment settles into the neck and it doesn't have a lot of contact with the wine, which keeps it very fresh, super crisp, really bright, exactly what you need to get all that sunstroke off, all that day drinking, dehydration out of your system, or at least pushed to the background.
So it's like a keg stand, but a sophisticated keg stand. So if you are usually used to ordering some shots when you go to a French wine bar, just ask for a glass of Pet Nat because it's quite similar.
And we got 100% Gamay, this lovely little pink, like beautiful, like very vigorous like bubble. This is gonna be super fun, but it is glue, so this means one and done. Cheers. Yeehaw.
Okay, so you're at Stampede and you're a little bit older, a little more mature. You're kind of past your twisted tea and, you know, sourpuss shots phase of your Stampede experience. You know, you're more of a vodka water lady, fella, whatever.
I love vodka waters.
You know, you're thinking, you know, I want to keep it tidy for 10 days. I don't want to have to go into a boot camp after this, work off all the decadence of Stampede. So you're keeping it pretty clean and tidy.
This is why I smoke cigarettes, because I'm not going to be hungry for the next 25 days. Right?
Which is really important when you're next to like fried donuts and
Exactly.
all the Stampede
Exactly.
fare. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
what are we drinking?
as an alternative to, and in the idea of being a little more conscious about what you're putting into your body, we are going to do a cremant. So not champagne, but made in the method de champenois. This is from a producer called Gilles Denois. They call this Bulle d'Argile, and it's a brut nature, meaning there's absolutely no sugar left in this wine. There's no sugar added to this wine for the dosage. In fact, they actually use a little bit of unfermented Chenin Blanc juice to kickstart that fermentation in the bottle, which then is later disgorged.
So not only do you look cool by ordering the cremant, but you're saving on the calories, you're not going to be hungry later. Like, what? It's a miracle beverage.
I mean, it's basically diet wine, if you really want to know the truth. Certified organic, you can probably see on the label here, it is SO2 free, so there's no sulfur added to this. It's basically the cleanest of boozes that you can put in your body. Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, so still has a very strong champagne connection in the sense that those are the same varietals, made in the method de champenois, but from area in called Lemieux, a little further south, a little bit different, lots of value. So this is kind of a knowledgeable insider's bubbly order in a French wine bar.
Right, okay, so when you go to the Stampede Tent and you're used to going, I'll have a vodka water. When you walk into Frenchie or a French wine bar, all you need to say is, I want a glass of cremant. That's it.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, we've had shots, twisted teas,
Yes.
vodka waters, and sometimes you can't just stay in the tent the entire time. Sometimes you need to graduate to the upper echelon.
Exactly. Expense accounts and debauchery. So
Spending other people's money that's not yours. What do you buy?
champagne.
Champagne! What are we drinking?
We're going to be having a very special champagne. Now, most people, as we always discuss, they're familiar with the Dom Perignons, they're familiar with the Veuve Clicquots, but that doesn't necessarily mean the creme de la creme. So we have here from Champagne Marguerite. This is Demeter certified biodynamic, organic farming, zero dosage, zero anything, no sugar, no sulfites, mostly Pinot Noir, 75%. 25% Chardonnay, all from the Ambonnet region, so Grand Cru classified fruit.
The upper echelon.
Exactly. This is the creme de la creme of champagne fruit. What's very fun about this, they call this wine the Shaman 18. 18 referring to the vintage that makes up the majority of the wine. With champagne, sometimes they'll use reserve wines to make a house style. This is about 15% reserve wines, 85% coming from the 18 vintage. Bottled in 2019, disgorged 2 years later. Much more textural, rich, kind of like thick and decadent champagne.
Oh yeah, this definitely has way more like texture layers than the previous bubbles that we, right?
There's almost like an intense like vodka kind of like feeling to it, and it's so powerful and so like strong in its flavor.
But it's not a vodka water.
No, definitely not vodka water. More of a burned apple and very like buttery, rich kind of like champagne. Absolutely fantastic. And the fact that it's still everything that we love about natural wines is organic. It is very low sugar, 0 grams per liter remaining. So that's no sugar.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're used to, well, maybe you're not used to heading up to Ranahan's and ordering one of those like really icky, gross cab saves that everyone seems to drink at Stampede.
Stampede sometimes is about showing out and very much spending the money to impress. And if you're in a French wine bar, I mean, champagne is the answer, but this is that insider's kind of like idea to a grower champagne that is all the wonderful stuff about natural while still maintaining tons of elegance, tons of power, and just, you know, a sense of special occasion.
So if someone else is buying the bill, just say champagne and you'll be okay.
Salud.
Cheers!